Welcome into Tuesday, everyone. It is time again for our Tuesday Tips for Parents. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of at-home practice. Probably anytime you tell your child, why don't you practice your piano? Why don't you practice, throwing your baseball, catching the baseball? Why don't you practice this, that, or the other, martial arts, football, whatever it may be? A lot of times we hear, well, I already take 2 classes a week. Why do I have to practice at home? Well, I did really good in class. My teacher even said how good I did. Why should I have to practice? Normally, we're going to come back with something like, practice makes perfect. You want to be the best on the team, don't you? You really want to get that down so that you get chosen to have more playtime. You get chosen to be on the competition team. Any of these types of things are things that parents come back with as far as telling their kids why they need to practice. Not that any of those things are not the right reasons that they should be practicing. Psychologically, emotionally, socially, even physically, what are we doing for our kids though when we tell them, yes, you need to practice? We are helping them in all of those areas to develop, regardless of what developmental stage they're in, regardless of the age. We are doing something to help the kids in all of their different areas of development, and as well, we are helping to bond with our children. We are creating some time that will, in the long run, be very special for them and creates the opportunities, like we have talked about in some of our segments before. How do we get the information out of our child? How do we get our child to open up and actually talk to us and tell us some of the things going on that they may not otherwise would answer for us? This is also one of those ways. So let's talk about what's going on when we practice. So yes, again, we've all heard practice makes perfect. You'll be on the team. Practice creates consistency and muscle memory, which regardless of what we are doing, that is one of the goals for different types of activities. Even if it's piano, it's muscle memory of the finger movement. How to create a reach on the piano from this key to that key. How to know exactly where the keys are under your fingers without necessarily having to look. If it's martial arts, it's muscle memory of your forms. It's muscle memory of the self-defense, so that if you are ever in a really bad situation, your muscles will remember what to do. It's consistency. It's consistency of how you throw the ball. It's consistency of the way that you look to catch the ball. All of these things are creating that consistency and that muscle memory. It is also, again, working on the physical activity and physical development of the age group. Each age group needs to develop different parts of the muscles according to what's weak developmentally for them, but it is doing that. For example, your young kids, sort of that 3 to 6 year old age group, a lot of times they have very, very low muscle tone overall. Very weak core muscles, very weak shoulder muscles, hip muscles, those sorts of things. So if they're practicing, they are working to develop the muscle tone, and they are also developing a lot of those large muscle groups, what we call the gross motor skills. They're developing a lot of that, as well as balance, as well as the core muscles to have better balance. They're developing all of that. That age group also really needs a lot of adult confirmation of what they're doing and that they're doing it really well. They really want to please adults. The 3 to 4 year old age group even needs sort of a safety blanket coming from adults. So they really need a lot of how great you're doing, how wonderful you're doing, that I'm proud of you. So it's also creating an opportunity for you to provide that for your child, and possibly even another child that may come over to practice with your child a lot. So you're able to provide that for them. That 7 to 9 year old age group, they're a little bit more of in the fine muscle that they need to develop, the fine muscle skills, the fingers, the toes, the smaller muscles. They're able to develop that while they're practicing. And that age group is notorious for that's not fair. I didn't get it right. I'm no good at it. I'm a loser. And really, in an inappropriate way, expressing frustration, sort of being overly frustrated at every little thing that happens. So it allows you as a parent an opportunity to teach them emotionally and socially better ways to deal with some of these things. You know what? Let's just stop for a second and take a deep breath. Let's take 2 or 3 deep breaths, calm down, get our shoulders down a little bit and start all over. Let's run a quick lap. Let's count to 10. Let's do 50 jumping jacks. Whatever it may be that will help your child, you are teaching them that at a point of frustration, we don't quit. We're not going to give up. Just because we didn't get it the first time doesn't mean we won't get it the second time, the third time, the fourth time. So we're just going to take a quick break and do whatever it is we do to calm ourselves down, and we're going to come back in and we're going to keep practicing. And it gives you the opportunity to also help make sure that they end on a positive note. So if they've been getting frustrated, something's really not going well, calm them down, help them learn how to calm down. It doesn't matter if it's one throw. They did one throw really awesome. They did one kick really good. They hit the right note, whatever it may be. They did the turn in their dance really well. Stop right there. Stop. Tell them how super awesome they are and end it on that positive note so that they feel like they accomplished something for the day. The sort of 10 and up age group, as we're entering the lovely teen years, as we've talked about from time to time, they're just a little bit lazier sometimes. They really don't want to do a lot of activity. They want to stay on the phone. They want to play video games, whatever it may be. So it gives you an opportunity to say, no, come on, we're going to have this activity. This is something you're doing. I'm paying for it. You committed to it. We're going to go out here and practice. The teenage years as well. This is a super important time that you have that ability to go out and practice with your child and be a part of what they are doing. Physically show them how important they are to you. Because even though teens are the ones typically saying, no, don't want mom around, don't want dad around, whoever it may be, they really, really, really need us at that time. It's a very critical time of their lives. So it gives you an opportunity to find out what's going on in their life, who their best friend is, what the drama is for the day, so you can show your support for all of these different areas for the things that are going on without being nosy. Because you're out, you're practicing whatever it is you're practicing with them, and you can just have general conversations. Their guard is down because you're out, you're having fun, you're throwing the ball, you're practicing kicks with them, you're counting their forms for them, you are playing the music for them to practice their dance or tumbling or whatever it may be. Their guard's down. They're going to talk to you a little bit more openly. So we're giving them all the things that they need from practicing. We're creating the consistency. They're getting better with their technique. They are going to have more confidence when they go back into the group situations. A lot of your teenagers especially, they don't like having to learn in front of other people. They only want to go full out, full force if they're confident in it. The 7 to 9-year-olds, they can easily be under-challenged or over-challenged. So it's sort of a fine line there. You know your child better. So you're creating that confidence for them to go back into class. You are creating the confidence even in the little ones that, hey, I can hold my foot up to the count of 3 now instead of to the count of 2. So you are helping them to create that confidence so that when they have a performance, a game, a practice, a tryout, anything, they're going to go in so much more confident and walk out so much more pleased with themselves. Even if they don't win the game, even if they don't make the team, even if whatever happens, they're still going to have more confidence and be very proud of the work that they did and how hard they tried. And again, as a parent, just gives you the opportunity to be there for your child, show them how important they are, and sort of sneak in those questions when the guard is down so that you can really find out what's going on in your child's life. So is it only about practicing? Not really. It is about practicing. It's about teaching them about commitment. You made a commitment to this team. You made a commitment to yourself. So you really need to give it your all. Let's go out. Let's practice. So you're teaching them work ethic, basically, is what you're teaching them at a very young age. You're also teaching them how to build confidence in themselves. You're teaching them how to set goals. that they are working on a daily basis to achieve, and you're sort of sneaking in those parent questions so that you can keep up with what's going on, and you can be there to try to help with any issues that are coming up in their lives. I certainly hope that this has sort of sparked a few things in you, maybe makes you want to go out and practice something with your child today or this weekend or one day this week. Again, if you have any specific questions or comments, you can comment below. You can also send us an email, call, or text. The email is skills, skillz, the number 4, kids, KIDZ, @outlook.com, or you can call or text us at 336-270-6825, and we look forward to seeing you next week.